Have you ever felt the ache of being ignored by someone you deeply care about? That silence, it's not just empty space, it's like a storm without thunder. You wait for a message, a call, a gesture. You replay old memories, search through past conversations, wondering, did I say something wrong? Did I do too much? Or do I just not matter anymore? But what if I told you sometimes that silence doesn't mean rejection? Sometimes it means love. A confused, protective, and unspoken kind of love. You see, emotional distance can often be a mask. People show love in different ways, and not everyone is taught how to express it openly. For some women, ignoring isn't cruelty, it's fear. It's fear of being too much or not enough. It's fear of being hurt the way they were before. So instead of saying I love you and it scares me, they say nothing. Instead of holding your hand, they pull back. Because deep inside, love has become linked with pain, and distance feels safer than connection. This isn't just about feelings, this is psychology. In relationships, we all carry what's called an attachment style. Some chase, some run, some overthink every reply, others ignore what they really want. A woman with an avoidant attachment may deeply care about you but feel overwhelmed by emotional closeness. It's not your fault, and it's not hers either. It's a system she learned, often from childhood. She may not even be aware she's doing it. Her silence is her shield. Her distance is her way of saying, I don't want to lose myself again. And sometimes it has nothing to do with you at all. Life hits hard. She could be carrying emotional baggage. You don't see stress, grief, burnout, old heartbreaks. When the mind is overloaded, people shut down. They don't know how to say, I need space, but I still care. So they disconnect, not because they want to lose you, but because they're trying not to lose themselves. That's the hidden psychology behind emotional distance. It's not always easy to understand, especially when you're the one left in the dark. But don't let that silence steal your self-worth. If you truly care, stay calm, stay kind, and stay grounded. She is not just pulling away randomly. She is observing, quietly, carefully. She's watching your actions more than your words. In her silence, she's testing something deep, your consistency. She wants to know if your love is patient, if your presence is steady, and if your intentions are true, because anyone can show up when it's easy, but who stays when things get confusing? That's the real test. You may think she's ignoring you to push you away, but sometimes she's actually waiting to see if you'll come closer, even without her asking. She's wondering, will he still care when I go quiet? Will he give up? Or will he gently wait until I feel safe again? It's not a game. It's a question of emotional safety. Some women, especially the ones who have loved deeply and been hurt deeply, need to see if you're someone who will fight for connection without needing constant reassurance. But here's something important. Her silence doesn't always mean she's stopped caring. Often, women dealing with personal struggles, low self-esteem, or emotional burnout create space not to hurt you, but to protect themselves. Maybe she feels like a mess and doesn't want to burden you. Maybe she's trying to heal quietly in a way she hasn't learned how to explain. And the saddest part, in her effort to handle everything alone, she forgets that love means sharing the weight, not hiding it. Even while she's distant, the signs that she still loves you are there. You just have to see with your heart, not just your eyes. Maybe she still watches your stories, likes an old post, asks your mutual friends about you, or hesitates to block you. She may not say it, but that hesitation speaks volumes. It means she's torn between protecting herself and missing you. It means her heart is still involved, even if her voice isn't. So don't always take emotional distance at face value. Sometimes it sits a scream in disguise, a quiet way of saying, please, just don't hurt me. When someone you love pulls away, it's tempting to panic, to reach out again and again, to beg for answers, or try to force closeness. But sometimes that very pressure can push her further. The real strength lies in how you respond, not with desperation, but with emotional maturity. If she needs space, honor it. That doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you love her in a way that respects her healing. Sometimes the most powerful message you can send is calm silence, steady presence, and quiet belief. Because real love doesn't quit when things get hard. Real love shows up when it's inconvenient, when the path is unclear, when the other person isn't making it easy. But that doesn't mean you lose yourself in the process. You don't have to chase someone endlessly just to prove your worth. You stand your ground, not with ego, but with dignity. You remind her with your actions that you're not here for a quick fix. You're here because you see something worth fighting for. But even while you hold on, you must also know when to let go. There's a big difference between emotional distance and emotional disinterest. If she's gone silent for a moment, that's distance. But if she's shown over and over that she doesn't care, no messages, no subtle signs, no emotional connection, then maybe it's time to protect your own heart. You deserve effort too. Love is never meant to be one-sided. Still, if there's even a small spark left, don't give up too early. So many people walk away just before the breakthrough. They leave when it gets confusing, not realizing that clarity often comes after chaos. Sometimes, all she needs is your consistency, your calmness, and your ability to hold space, not just for her, but for both of you. And in the middle of all this, don't forget yourself. Grow while you wait. Heal while you hope. Work on your purpose, your peace, your power. Because even if she comes back, she deserves the best version of you, not the one who got lost in the silence, but the one who rose through it. In the end, emotional distance isn't the end of love. Sometimes it's the test that leads to its true beginning. If you've ever loved someone who became emotionally distant, you know how confusing it can be. But here's something most people forget. Emotional distance isn't just about the person pulling away. It's about what you do with that distance. In those quiet spaces, you either break or you build. You build patience. You build understanding. And most importantly, you build yourself. Because love is not just about holding on to someone else. It's about holding on to yourself while you're loving them. Sometimes she's not trying to hurt you. She's just overwhelmed. She may not have the words to express what's going on inside her. Maybe she feels like she's not enough, or that she'll disappoint you, or that if she opens her heart again, it'll only end in pain. That fear makes her retreat, not because she wants to leave, but because she's terrified of staying and getting hurt. And the only way to reach her isn't by pushing harder, but by showing her that real love doesn't rush, doesn't force, and doesn't vanish. Even when you don't understand her silence, your kindness can still speak. Even when you feel left out in the cold, your emotional strength can be the light she eventually finds her way back to. But that doesn't mean you put your life on hold. That doesn't mean you sit around waiting for someone who may never return. What it means is that you keep loving, keep growing, and keep standing strong, because that's what makes you different. That's what makes your love rare. And if she never comes back, if her silence becomes permanent, then know this: it wasn't your love that failed. It was just a story that wasn't ready to be written, at least not in this chapter. But you showed up. You stayed soft in a hard world. And that in itself is powerful. So no matter how distant she becomes, never forget who you are. Never stop being the one who loves with strength, patience, and depth. Because one day, someone will recognize the kind of heart you have, and this time they won't run from it.